Welcome to another edition of Show and Tell. Today we're going to be discussing the beautiful decorative accessories that are offered within the Studio A Home, a Global Views company, collection for 2020 Spring-Summer. This is a really wonderful category for Studio A and Global Views as a company because we have always been known as a decorative accessory company first and foremost. Interior designers, retail store owners, and others buy our product because they work so well into intimate home decor settings. It's the final touch of jewelry that makes a room very special when you get the right decorative accessory into an environment. From the Studio A Home decorative accessory category, we're showing you here a two-piece set that's called the horizontal trowel vase and the horizontal trowel bowl. When someone plows a field, they leave trowel marks in the field, or when someone puts concrete down, they trowel the concrete into place. And this is called trowel because of these really beautiful, consistently placed horizontal ridges on the surface of the bowl and the vase. The interesting thing about this for me is truly the gradation of the color and how it's not just one tone to the glaze. We're always challenging ourselves to find glazes for the ceramic collections that we do in both companies, with coming up with a glaze that has more interest and more appeal than something that's just flat and one-dimensional. And I think this is a really good example of some success we had locating a really beautiful glaze for these pieces. The top edge of this bowl has got a really beautiful kind of deckled edge to it all the way around the bowl edge. It's not smooth, it's not perfectly finished, it's intended to be kind of deckled. And that same approach goes for the vase here, where the very top asymmetrical opening in the vase is also deckled around the very edge of the thing as well. And I think they're just a beautiful glaze and really beautiful simplistic statement kind of pieces of decorative accessories from Studio A Home. Here are the square chimney vases from Studio A Home. There are 4 sizes of square vases and 3 glaze options as shown here. The black is kind of a volcanic kind of glaze with a lot of texture to it and a lot of detail. The gray is the same kind of volcanic glaze. The white is just a little bit more of a reactive white glaze. These were designed and developed truly to be sold and shown in groupings of any number of vases, any number of colorations or glaze finish options of the vases as well. So if we were to simply start rearranging them, I think you can see how differently they begin to look when there's a multicolored kind of glaze opportunity going on with the pieces. And so that's the intention behind these pieces, is that they'll mix and match together in a collection or a grouping to make a much stronger statement than just a single vase would. This is the Crackle Frozen Indigo Art Glass collection for Studio A Home. Just like we do with ceramics, we also source glass from many different countries, and that gives us the ability to first of all, and most importantly, obtain different looks and finishes depending on what each art glass factory is capable of doing. And second of all, it gives us a variety of price points in art glass that make the pieces uniquely appealing to different levels of buyers, whether they're looking for something in a lower price point or a higher price point in a statement of art glass. These happen to come from India, so the price point is very manageable on these pieces of art glass. You'll notice that the indigo in the art glass can really vary in color tone pretty dramatically, particularly if you look at the largest piece here where all of the indigo is settled into the bottom of the piece and there's not much of the blue tone that you see in these other pieces coming upward. That's natural. Those kinds of things happen when art glass is made. Again, no 2 pieces will be the same and each will vary a lot or even slightly. And so it makes for very beautiful, very interesting functional glass pieces, obviously. These 3 pieces here that have kind of the oval shape to them have really free-form kind of cutouts on the top of them, that the mouth openings of the vases, that make them very unique and very different from one to the next. The more cylindrical pieces also have kind of an abstract top hole formed in the vase as well. A lot of really thick ice occurs at the bottoms of these pieces, which is a sign of really good quality art glass. These are also available in a steel color in Studio A that was introduced in October. So we have indigo and we have steel. This is the Dynasty Temple Jar in a gray lacquered finish. It has really beautiful elements and details to it. First of all, this overall scale of it is very huge, as you can see when I put it into human scale for you. Wrapping around the neck of this piece is a really beautiful brazed brass hollow tube that creates kind of a necklace affair for the jar. And to add detail and decoration, there's combinations of frosted glass balls and clear glass balls that are all held in place on this shaped brass collar with little individual brass wires. So it's just got a lot of detail and a lot of design element to it all. Now when brazing occurs on real brass like it does here, it can discolor it, but that's all part of the natural process of brass being brazed. It becomes a little bit iridescent where the heat hits the brass, and then they obviously leave behind a little trail of tracing that they use to weld these different shaped pieces of brass rods together to make the collar of the vase. Another really beautiful piece from the Studio A Home Decorative Accessory Collection. This is the grand bowl with gunmetal silver leaf, and it's Vietnamese lacquer. It's kind of lightweight, but it's just so big in scale that it will create a statement all on its own. And if you look inside the bowl, you can actually see individually placed pieces of silver leaf that have a gunmetal kind of finish or glaze on top of them, making it a little darker and richer looking than it would be otherwise if it was just plain silver leaf. It also has a really beautiful footed element to the bowl, which just elevates it off the surface and gives it a whole lot of personality and charm, I think. The obi stones you're seeing here are part of the Aviva Stanoff collection done for Studio A Home. Aviva is of Japanese heritage, and she's always been interested in bringing any part of Japanese heritage into home decor and home design. These were actually inspired by kimono wraps, the wrapping that holds a kimono closed around the waist in Japanese culture. They have very basic names. This is the wrap stone with no space. This is the wrap stone with a circular design. This is wrap stone with spaces. The wrapping goes all the way around to the back side of these stones as well. These are made to just be bowl fillers or sit around decor statements. Nice pieces to put on a pile of books on your coffee table, or to fill a whole bowl with if you so choose to. We also sell these in a bronze coppery finish. This is the natural aluminum, cast aluminum finish on the stone, and then they're wrapped in a natural raffia. There's another version of these that Aviva designed for us to put on the wall as wall decor. So in total, there are quite a few items in this collection, but they're all based upon this basic shape and size stone with the natural raffia wrapping. Thank you again for joining us for another episode of Show and Tell. We hope you've enjoyed the beautiful decorative accessories that are going to be offered for Spring/Summer 2020 in Studio A Home, a Global Views company.